Hi, can anybody hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Well, hello, all you lovely ladies. I'm super happy to be here with you. Thank you for choosing to be here. If you'd like to switch your camera on, it creates a little bit more intimacy in the room. If you don't want to, that's okay too. And so it's nice to be able to see one another, to feel one another, to connect on a deeper level. So, yeah, thank you. Oh, nice to see your faces. Yeah, beauties. So, we don't know each other, many of us yet. I'm Amy, I'm a naturopath, and I've been doing what I do with intuition, nutrition work for almost 20 years now. And it's taken me many, many years to really come around to the point to say, I just really want to work with women only. I've had a retreat business in Bali for the past 10 years. Anybody here been to Bali? Anybody? So this is, okay. Let's see. If you have your name on your screen too, I can refer to you. One other thing, I want to give you a little sign language. If you agree with something or you want to say, yeah, I concur, we do this, okay? You can also put something in the chat box. Atile, thank you so much for being here. And I have to break some bad news to you, for you personally. We have gone all women here. So you're gonna have to put a dress on. Yeah.
Really sorry. So I can leave now.
Yeah, well, bless. I just want to say thank you for being brave enough to enter anyway. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
Bye. So it's going to take the men in our community a little bit of time to realize that we are now officially all ladies. So again, over these many years on our retreats in Bali, our retreats would just naturally be women. Somehow my work just seems to attract mainly women. And these groups would be so rich and wonderful because, of course, as women, we can talk about things together that we just don't talk about if a man's in the room. You know, it's not that we want to exclude anyone. It's just, for me, as someone who's really into women's health, what we go through as women, our sexuality, our hormones, our stages of life, just a woman can understand that. I have 3 older sisters, a family full of women. And being the youngest of all of them, I got the best and the worst, I think, of them. But one thing I really got was that even though we're very different, we may not always be so close, one thing I know is that my sisters, no matter what, are always there for me, even if we don't talk for a long time. So this is our 4th webinar like this. And over these past few weeks, my heart inside just said, Amy, do it, finally do it, go all women. And I spoke with my marketing team and they said, okay, let's run some different ads. And you're the ladies that, many of you were here already before, but you're the ladies that really caught on to this. And just so you know, all the marketing we did for women went way better than anything else we've ever done. So I kind of cried that my inner heart's desire brought all of you here. So I want to acknowledge you, say thank you. And let's get down to what we're going to do here together. So essentially, we are going to have a 2-part session. We're going to have a science session. I'd love to introduce you even more deeply, if you're into it already, or maybe you're not, to food as medicine. But in the way I work with deep intuition. Working intuitively was my first skill that came to me in my early 20s. Just, I could feel what people feel. I could sense it, I could see it, and it's as if I was experiencing it in my own body. Anybody else have that experience? You feel, sense, and see others on a very deep level. Yeah. And some people might say, you know, Amy, that's just strange. But to me, it's just natural. And it's where the better part of me lived and lives. It came to me when I was 23, working intuitively. But honestly, I was a real banshee. I was a total party animal, you know, very traumatized in many ways. And I wasn't willing to stop partying. Anybody else have that experience in your life where you're like, I know I need to do something better, but I'm not willing to give the party yet? Yeah. So I partied on for another 10 years and got into my early 30s, and my body couldn't take it anymore. And I started having all kinds of female problems, lots of issues. And stopping all of that, my intuition came back, because in my early 20s, when it came to me, what it started doing was it started kind of purifying me. I don't mean like in a puritanical sense. I mean, it started saying to me like, okay, if you want to see and hear on this level, you need to stop smoking dope. You need to stop hanging out with that guy and that guy and that guy and that guy. And you need to like clear your head out, clear your body out. I was pretty stubborn though. And I just partied on. Worked in bars and restaurants, waiting tables. But at a certain point when my body wouldn't take it anymore, and I started asking the bigger questions of, what am I here for? I've got to know. It's not enough for me just to bartend and work in an atmosphere where people, I'm contributing to people being drunk. It really bothered me. But I did it for a very long time until finally my life changed. A lot of things happened, and life said, no more. And so I listened and started getting really into food as medicine. I had 3 massive ectopic pregnancies from the time I was 18 to 28, lost my fertility, and finally decided I had to take responsibility for my life and clean up my life. When I let go of all the negative relationships, all the old past, boom, came back. It started talking to me again. It was like, it said to me, we know you can hear us. I was like, oh yeah, okay. It said, Amy, you got to change your life. Okay, at this point I was pretty desperate. Another time I'll tell you about that. That's a whole story. Once we get to know each other better, it's big, tender feelings there. But essentially, I know you have that place in your life, probably where things have happened, and you said, okay, I've got to change my life. Anybody have that? Yeah. Like all of us, right? So you know. So the time came, and that's what led me into combining what really contributed to healing my body with food as medicine. I became vegan that way. I got into raw food and I got seriously into fasting. Started working with people really seriously and started doing the intuitive work again. It came back. It forgave me. It befriended me again and just said, just come with me. I said, okay. I was honestly a bit desperate, you know, and I was willing to do it because I was so broken down. And I'm so happy for that. And it taught me that my greatest challenges, my greatest conundrums, and the messes I would get myself into, if I was willing to listen to this other voice inside, that something very positive would happen. And that meant my body healing, my mind healing. That meant that I could actually benefit other people. And that made me really happy. When I figured out that my own contribution to myself, finally, took a long time to figure that out, could actually help other people, I was willing more and more to take care of me so I could take care of others. And that was almost 20 years ago. And that's what's led me to be here with you and to finally say, it's women I really, really feel passionate about. Why? Because I believe we are humanity's cure, hands down. I believe that well-nourished women who sense, feel, intuit, care, come together, share, help each other, how much we can help men and children. So I decided to kind of let go of the men. You know, it's never been easy for me to let go of men in my life. I don't know about you ladies, but you know, I had to let that go and move on to what my true heart calls for. And it's the clean, pure energy and the regenerative energy with women. Yeah, so that brings me here with you. So today what we're going to do is we're going to dive into some science. In all these years I became a naturopath, and what I realized and what I learned intuitively, my inner voice taught me this, is that if I listen closely to someone's body, and to if I could naturally, organically engender trust, then their soul would speak to me. Now this makes me really, really happy. And then I could hear them and see pictures. And then over time, it became like learning a language where I became very fluent and quick at it. So in the first part of our lesson, we're going to learn about some science. That's what we always do in the first part. And today it's about creating balance, which brings us around to acidity and alkalinity, pH. So we're going to get a little bit technical, but don't worry if you're not a technical type. I'm not either. Little did I know I actually have some abilities in that way once I got out of my own way more and more. And then we're going to get down into our intuitive work. Okay, so that's what we're going to do today. I want to know though first, I want to get a feeling for all of you. I'm going to start taking a look into the chat box and get a bit more of a feel for you. Will you tell me, have you been here before? Is this your first time? Would you pop it in the chat box for me just so I can feel you a bit? I love to feel us as a group, not just individually, but who's here? What are your needs? What's your soul calling for? So tell me, let me know. Have you been here before or no? Oh, thanks, Sumi. Yeah, Sumi says, well done, thank you. Let's see. First time, okay. Most everybody's your first time. Okay, Linda, second time, great. Okay. Okay, Quiana, listen to your spirit and go vegan. Yes, excellent, good for you. Yeah. Oh, Joan, you did a session with me in New York. Oh, bless. Okay. Oh, it's getting more and more exciting all the time. Yeah, thank you. Oh, Cheryl, you're there too. Great. Okay, and Suzanne. All right. Karen, Natalia, Sonia, Sylvia, wonderful to see all of you. Oh, Cheryl, nice to see you, beautiful woman. Oh, okay. Great. So this is helpful. This is helpful to feel you a bit more. So Kelly, your first time, you have thyroid issues. Anybody else have any health issues? Yeah. Yeah. So in this work, Hashimoto. Okay. Are you still in New York, Joan? Okay. I got to tell you something really good. For anybody suffering for something like Hashimoto, okay, celiac, many of it, hormones in Natalia. Okay, these are the kind of things we're going to talk about. But if you are in the States, because I know, Americans cannot travel outside right now, IBS, all of this, okay, Gemma, anorexia, most of this, 9 times out of 10, comes back to parasites, okay? So, Joan, have you been to Dr. Cahill in New York City? No. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. This is for everybody, and this is really worth your time, okay? So check out Dr. Cahill, Dr. Kevin Cahill in New York City, okay? So that's in the chat box for you. If you have any kind of serious health issue going on, there's 2 things going on with you, probably, in a general term. Number 1, first off, what happened was your microbiota got diminished somehow. Do we know what microbiota is, or microbiome? Yeah. Okay, so if you were here in our last couple of lessons, we talked extensively about that. That was our first science classes we did. We're going to have these videos up on my site soon, and you could go back and watch them. But what I would encourage you to do is learn about your microbiome. I just popped that in the chat box for you. What is your microbiome? In short, it is our healthy flora that is in our gut, our mouth, our nose, and in our genital tract. And it covers us from head to toe on our skin. If you could see it under a microscope, it's little protozoans, viruses, it's pathogens that are part of our immunity. So this is why all the sterilization of hands is one of the worst things we can do. Okay, what is herd immunity? Herd immunity is because we are swapping, like I shake your hand, we're swapping our viral load, basically. Your immunity, again, your microbiome takes that in, adjusts it, and builds your immunity, bottom line, in very simplistic terms. Now, it gets destroyed, it gets compromised over time through poor diet. The microbiome is very sensitive to nutrition. And what's one of the primary things if you go to a conventional doctor, they'll tell you? Your issue has nothing to do with what you eat. Well, what? Are you kidding me? That's completely unscientific. It's just not based in science. So your microbiome is very much determined by your diet, your lifestyle habits, because it uptakes your nutrition. It's the basis of our immunity. And it's making all those protozoas, those pathogens and those viruses, making them friendly. But when we feed it junk food and we are all like sanitizing, we kill it. Yeah. Or we're using like heavy detergents, bleach, or even hand sanitizers, heavy soaps in general. Okay. You're just washing off your immunity constantly, over sterilizing. Then guess what? You're susceptible to all sorts of things you wouldn't have been before. It's just math. It's not my idea. It's just, as a naturopath, it's my job to study this stuff. Okay, so what we want to do first off, Joan, and for anybody here, everybody, thank you who popped in what your health condition is. First thing you want to do is clean up your gut and get that microbiome and that microbiota, which is the specific regions we talked about. Get that flora healthy again. Get it in harmony with you. This is why we go vegan. These are all lessons from my Go Vegan program. Okay, so in Go Vegan, it's not a free-for-all, just eat anything type vegan. It's whole foods. It's coming back into juicing, into the connection to the earth. But all of that to me would be a little bit boring if we didn't understand who we are, especially as women. If we didn't understand our sexuality, our hormones, the stage of life that we're in as a woman. Yeah, it's different than a man. Yeah, my husband can do all kinds of things, to eat all kinds of things I couldn't even barely look at. My body's like, no, won't have it. Yeah. So what we're learning to do here is to understand some of this basic science and then work on our conditioning, our thinking, our programming, and open ourselves up to another way that's determined by nature, by goodness, by all of this beauty that is inherent to the feminine. This is our birthright. It's been idolized, sexualized, commodified. And if we strip all that away, there's this pure, innocent child inside of us, this beautiful feminine force. This is what we're here to do in our work together, is to keep peeling back all the emotional trauma, all the things we've all been through, all the programming. I just learned about my white programming. I had no idea. I'm just learning. I'm involved with a BIPOC group of women who just smashed me the other day. Oh my God. But you know what? Thank you to all of BIPOC women here today. To have your trust is like one of the most meaningful things, because here we're stripping away, hopefully, tenderly, carefully, lovingly, all this conditioning that keeps us from our power as women. So let's take a deep breath, big breath together. And if you can feel anything that might have gotten triggered inside of you, or any of those conditioning, know that it's welcome here, it's loved here. It is held here, and we are safe to fumble, to bumble, to not know, and to grow together. This is our safe place. We're not always used to having safe places as women, but that's why it's all women. All right, now we're going to go into our science lesson. I'm going to, oh, that's not the right thing. I'm going to pull up a chart for you. Let's see here. Here we go. Oh, there it is. Okay, so let's understand food and acid alkalinity and the basis of what makes food medicine or poison. Okay, so let's take a look here on the pH scale. It actually runs, you can see my cursor here on the left, it actually runs from 0 all the way to 14. Now it's said that perfect human health is somewhere here. It's actually at 7.45 technically. And to be healthy and to ensure that you are never going to be sick again, or if you are ill now, for those of you who have the IBS, the anorexia, you know, all of these issues, what we need to do, ladies, is we need to come back in here and eat in this range right here. Okay, mainly in this range. And some of this in the high alkalinity as well, a little bit of this in the low acidity, a tiny bit over here in the moderate acidity, but this category right here, foods that are 6 and below, we'll just get rid of them. Okay, so that's all the artificial sweeteners, the pudding, the jam, wine, beer. Now, could we have a little bit of that? It depends on what your condition is. The usual table salt, sugar, okay? All of these things here, meat, dairy, caffeine, even some fermented foods. So I want to encourage you to focus on this area here. And really, it's just an abundance of fruit, vegetables, you know, really tasty things that you could make in the vegan world. And the more raw vegan that you go, eating these foods raw, the healthier and quicker you will heal, or that you will de-age. So is it possible, if you have health issues, is it possible for you to heal eating food as medicine? What do you think? Yeah, it is. Here's some things is what it's going to take. It's going to take your true desire that you really want to. And then number 2, it's going to take curiosity, to get really curious about it, to learn about it, to really get into it. And number 3, it's going to take us being willing to perhaps change some of our lifestyle habits. That's kind of funny. I've been seeing a couple of things lately, some posts or ads on Facebook or Instagram, where it's like, here, you can continue to eat all of these things. You don't need to do the elimination diet. Well, hey, you know, if that works for some people, all right. But if you have a compromised immune system, technically speaking, your microbiome is not so healthy, your gut flora, you might consider staying off of some of that stuff and let your gut flora rebuild. There's one little other thing I want to encourage you to do here is some fasting. I actually started my summer fast yesterday. Do we have any people fasting here? Have we gotten into fasting yet? Yeah, Joan, how about you? Yeah? No? Okay. So if you want to really accelerate, Quiana's got her hand sign, clapping sign. If you really want to accelerate your healing process, I want to encourage you to do a detox. Now, you may not know where to get started with that or what to do. If you would like a resource, my plan for that, pop me your email in the chat box and I will send you that pH chart and I'll send you do a detox. It's just, I just only want to send it to you though for saying thank you for coming here today. So if you pop it in, I'll send you that. But I would encourage you to take your health to another level. Even when we are anorexic, sometimes we might have food things going on in our head that won't allow us to fast. But you can begin your food as medicine path in those areas, eating from those areas on the pH scale that we just spoke about. Rebuild your system first, then begin your fasting. But if you're struggling with your health, with any of these things we've just talked about, another big thing I want to encourage you to do is to be emotionally supported. Okay, there's a reason why we are anorexic, that we have IBS, that we don't have energy. And it's not because there's necessarily anything wrong with you. It's because you are a woman who has likely internalized her emotions, what you've been through in your gut. So our objective with this type of work is to heal our gut so that your gut flora can inform your brain intuitively. Some of you who have been on this webinar before, I just want to run by this again. Some of you have already heard this before, but how does our intuition just anatomically work? And why does it work well? Because your gut flora is informing through your vagus nerve into your brain. It's activating neurotransmitters, which are chemical messengers in your pineal gland, which for you and I, when this is functioning healthfully, means that that mystical thing called intuition becomes very science-based. So this is why in Go Vegan and in this type of work, we focus on cleaning up our gut, cleaning up our diet, so that other people might call it your third eye. Here, we're just referring to it as your pineal gland, getting your microbiome healthy, so this works properly. Because you as a woman, it's what you're designed to do. You feel, you sense, you see. Anybody here ever not feel like you're understood for who you are? Anybody? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so essentially, working in this way, we come to understand ourselves. I just accept this kind of odd gift. I'm thankful for it. And I learned to serve it. I learned to bow down to it. I learned to let go of all my deviant ways. Doesn't mean I'm not still completely wild woman. I'm even more wild woman, but powered by the sun and by the soil and by the wind. Because this is speaking to me and it's working. My job is to just listen and keep my body properly mineralized and nourished so I can hear well. What do you think? Does that resonate with you, or yeah? Will you pop something? I want to feel you more. Will you pop something in the chat box and let me know if this speaks to you? Sumi says, in Ayurveda, if the diet is good, medicine is not needed. If the diet is no good, medicine does not help. Ooh, good one, Sumi. Yeah, that's it right there. Okay. Okay, great. Okay, thank you, everybody. So, in our last webinar, we spoke about receiving. And I just want to ask you, do you receive? Do you receive love? Do you receive the sunshine? Our ability to uptake nutrition has to do with receiving. Our ability to get our intuition switched on is about receiving. But for many of us, we work pretty hard and we give a lot. Are you a giver? Are you someone who gives lots and lots? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you receive as well? Yeah. Oh, definitely an overgiver. A giver hard to receive. Yes. That's what I get from the chat box. Yes, I hear you. I feel you. Yes, you give more than you receive. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes. Why is it difficult for us to receive, especially as women? You know, somehow we have this kind of built-in program where we want to nurture, we want to give. But in my experience, we kind of seem to go off the deep end when we find our source of self-value there, instead of my source of self-value being about what's in here. Now I overgive in order to get my love, to get my approval. Anybody know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Joan. She says I'm pretty high maintenance with others who try to help me. Well, bless you for being here. Oh, Queen, are you snapping your fingers? Yo. So she says. Yeah. Gotcha. Yes, we feel like we have to be super women, and we are super women, right? And so in this coming week, I want to encourage you to experiment with what it feels like when you just receive. What happens if you come back to this practice of me first? If you were here last week, we spoke about that. Are you comfortable saying me first? Ooh. Could you say it? Could you just try it once? Me first? Me first. Ooh, whisper maybe? Me first, right, Annie, me first. And just encourage you to take that one in. Yeah. If you really start allowing yourself to put you first, what happens? And you might have things to do for your kids or for others. But energetically speaking, you could still be first. Here's the thing. What we're talking about here is if we're receiving and we're actually putting ourselves first more and more, how much recycling of our own goodness do we get to receive? Looking around at all your faces here, if I can receive your energy and what's in your eyes and on your face, I am enriched. I feel you. I take all of that in and it recycles into my own yumminess inside. Comes back out. I want to give that to you so naturally. It's easy, it's effort, it's fun. Brings me joy. So may we allow ourselves to give to ourselves so that we can recycle that inside and naturally give it. Yes. All right. Ellen says, I'm in a fortunate position that an accident means that I have to now self-care. I've had one of those life-changing moments. Yes, well, bless you for receiving it. You know, that's wisdom right there. If we can take those life-changing moments like that, Ellen, and we can say, I'm going to take this all for myself now. I think that was one of the beauties of lockdown, right? We all kind of got into an enforced position of a different type of focus. May that be our norm. Yeah. Are you guys ready to go a little bit deeper? Yeah. Okay. Before we do that, though, I just want to see, before we kind of switch, we're going to switch the different side to our brain. Okay, we're going to go out of the left brain stuff and we're going to kind of go into the right brain more. And we're working on whole brain amalgamation, really. We work intuitively. We work with our logic. We work with our intuition. Perhaps this is what whole brain functioning really is. Yeah. I think this is where our superpowers are, by the way. And because you have estrogen in your body, no matter what stage of life you're in, we still have it. We are privy to using whole brain functioning to sense and feel with. This is why proper nutrition is so important. And of course, here we're talking all plant-based. That's why our self-focus and receiving is so important. Because I know your heart as a woman, it wants to give. That's who we are. Do you replenish and receive first so that you can authentically do that? So that's not an obligation or a duty. Still a question for you. Okay, so if anybody has any technical question about health, now's a good time to ask. Otherwise, we are going to go into a bit of a little meditation, and we're going to set ourselves up and get ourselves aligned to tap into that wondrous field of where our information inside is speaking to us. One of the reasons I love doing this in a group is because clearly if one person can do it, if I can do it, we all can do it. So I'm going to lead you into something of a little meditation, and then we're going to go right into that place together. Karen, are we not depleted of estrogen as we get older? Yes, we do. We do lose estrogen as we get older, but in micro amounts, according to what we need. Our body is still producing it on micro amounts. Okay, so, but this is also dependent on how well we take care of ourselves. Okay, if we are, you know, if in essence, since we know the microbiome language now, in essence, if we're destroying our microbiome, our hormones are not going to work properly. Okay, which means that it can really rob our estrogen, and means that when we start getting to our late 40s and into our 50s, it can really begin to either crash our health, rob us of our inherent natural just feeling beautiful sense. So encourage you, no matter what stage of life that you're at, to really take care of your gut health. Is going to help you at every stage of life and help that incremental amount of estrogen that at 52, I need a different type of estrogen than I did at 42. And my body's able to produce this. And I feel that's because of being plant-based. It's not just that though, it's taking care of our stress. It's living true to ourselves. That's another thing I just want to put out to you is, what does it mean for you to live really true to yourself? What's calling you to live super true to yourself? Because it does affect our hormones, especially as we get older, if we're still in that working hard rut or shut down, no self-expression rut. It robs us as we get older. And there's another way. It's another reason why we do these webinars, so you can come into a safe place and be held and get a different type of example, hopefully. So someone else says, what about the probiotics in kefir dairy? Do those not help gut? Okay, great question. So the type of probiotics that we need are in some of those sources, but here's a couple of things. The type of source that you get your probiotics from is the difference between actually being able to use it and your body rejecting it and it causing you more problems. Kefir. Okay, if you don't know what kefir is, it's a fermented food. Not all of us are able to digest fermented foods, all right? Fermented foods for some people are poison, for some people they're medicine. Personally, apple cider vinegar will opened up a line in my face right there. A tablespoon of it a few years ago. My belly will bloat out. But take something like kimchi, body loves that. So careful about the probiotics in kefirs or fermented foods. They're not always medicine for everybody all the time. Dairy, the dairy may not be uptaking in your gut. You may not have the microbiome if you've had a whole lifetime of dairy and meat. Better sources are clean your gut out so your absorption works better. And here's something for you right here. L. salvera, so I'll pop this in the chat box, and L. plantarium, okay? Let's see if I spelled that correctly. So these are two strands of probiotic that we get from mother's milk. Okay, and if you were not breastfed, then you didn't get that. The other thing is, if you were not vaginally birthed, your microbiome got compromised at birth. Okay, but that doesn't mean you still can't be healthy. It just means that we need to rebuild with these practices that we're talking about. And these two strands here in the chat box are going to help you to rebuild. One of the major ways I rebuilt my system after surgeries and my whole gut flora getting blown out with drugs, I had to take testosterone four times a day. It was really hard on my body. I started fasting, got really into the food as medicine, and started taking L-salvera and L-plantarium in big doses. And that really helped build my gut flora. if you want to go a little bit deeper with this and you need some resource, if you go to our govegan.community, we have a free membership going on there right now where there's over 150 recipes. There's a meal planner, and there's all kinds of like a food as medicine library where you can learn about all kinds of different foods and their properties. Okay, it also has a glycemic index on it, and it has a pH balance on it. So that lesson we were just looking at from our program, the pH chart there, it is going to tell you in that food library which foods are what on the glycemic index and on the pH scale. Okay, so now let's switch back over here to our right brain. Thank you, left brain, for working well. Oh yeah, thank you. Taking in all the information. Now let's go a little bit deeper into our deeper capacity as women, as people. Okay, let's take a big breath together. Just letting it all go. 2 more big inhale through your mouth. Letting go with your exhale. And breathing all the way in. And all the way out. Really ground your energy down, ground down. Grounding all your energy into the earth. Feel roots growing out of your feet, grounded, stable in the earth. With protection all around you. Feel yourself safe, protected, loved, considered. We ask for guidance on this journey. So much thanks we give for all these ladies here to come together. We ask for guidance to bring in the information to most benefit each person here and as a group as a whole. And we pray that our work here benefit all people in this world, everywhere. So that's a tool I want to encourage you to work with at any time. Ground down, protection all around. As you sensitize and feminize, the need to be grounded in your body and here, fully in our body. Choosing to be alive, choosing to be fully present no matter what we face, no matter what you go through. I choose to be here, grounded down, putting protection all around yourself. Okay. Let us begin with the intuitive work we're going to do now. It's tender at times, can be quite vulnerable. It asks us to open up and to be seen, to be heard. And I know what you want as women. I know what we all want. We want to be seen and heard for who we are, for your soul. So much as women, we've been programmed by how we look. So much so that we keep propagating that. We keep trying to do all these things, especially as we get older. Oh my God, if we're not doing our inner work. But in this approach, what we're looking at is retaining, maintaining our inner beauty, our physical beauty, opening up to the depth of who we are. So it's tender. It's very tender. So what's going to happen is this, is if you'd like to be read, you can pop it into the chat box. You can also give me a physical hand, electronic hand. And I will ask your permission. I'll always ask your permission. And just know it's a safe place. Even though I might sense and feel things, I'm going to be very discerning and discreet because I would never want you to feel overexposed. Yeah, I'll ask your permission if it's okay, in case I sense something, really deep. There's a message here for everyone. So I encourage you to stay very present. Sometimes, oh, she's giving a reading to that person. Oh no, it's for you too. So I encourage you to stay real alert and find the message within whoever's being read. Yeah. Thank you for your openness, your willingness. Let us journey in this way now. Thank you, Stephanie, for turning your camera on, Suzanne. Nice to see you. Feel free to turn your cameras on. Okay, Erica. Where are you, Erica? Okay. Yes, hi. Okay. Erica, if you could unmute yourself. Oh, Annie, Nat, Linda, nice to see you. Yes, okay. I'm just gonna adjust my screen a bit so I can see you a bit better. Okay. No, let's see. Screen went to the wrong place, sorry. Okay, Erica. I'll find you on my screen again. Okay, here we go. Okay, Erica, are you ready? Oh, sorry, funny things are happening with my screen here. Erica, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so you can keep your eyes open, and if you would, yeah, that's it. This case is come into your, yeah, I can feel you better there. And we can take a big breath together. Yeah. Can I scan your system? Would that be okay? Yeah, yeah. So first off is big acknowledgement for what you have been willing to feel in the places that you've been willing to traverse. You know, there's a warrior woman inside of you. And that warrior woman, you've been allowing her to get melted down, is what it feels like. You've been allowing yourself to sensitize and to feminize, and it's looking really beautiful on you. Yeah. And I mean that literally. What it feels like is that this place is asking you to trust that you're on the right track and that it's safe to be this sensitive, because it feels like, are you vacillating in between allowing yourself to be this tender and then finding yourself shutting down a bit, kind of in between and out? Yeah, that's what it feels like. Yeah, that's what it feels like. Yeah. So encourage your breath here. Lots of breathing. Yeah. Anina, could you pop in the alchemy of breath? This alchemy of breath, I would encourage you to start learning about your breath and allow the breath to keep melting you down more and more. You're doing great work. It's really important to acknowledge yourself. This is a very important message that Erica brings in for everyone. Look how beautiful your sensitivity is. So beautiful, my God. Does it not bring your sensitivity alive, ladies, to witness Erica's tenderness? This is the power of the feminine. This is a big part of what your work is, it feels like too. But what it's going to do is going to drill you and pulverize you right down to that core belief inside of those 4 little dirty words. You know what they are. Yeah. Any of that old I'm not good enough stuff is just a contradiction to the truth of you. Yeah. And the good news is, and your willingness to be seen in this way, is that not brave or what? Can we give Erica some support? That's very brave. Okay. This feels like a big part of your work, is being willing to be seen in this deep, vulnerable tenderness rather than the old warrior woman, and know that your worth is inherent to who you are. And you know these things already. We're just reminding you of what you already know. And are your ovaries, your hormonal cycle is a bit slow, a little bit sluggish right now? Yeah. Okay. This has to do with, because you're processing some old toxic emotions. Your body's working hard right now. Your mind, your emotions. I encourage you to take lots of, it feels like you're already doing this, but lots of good walks in nature. Surround yourself like this in loving circles of women who see who you are and support that. And one last thing, Erica, really important now is, do you have some mother stuff going on with your mother? Some issues with, this is it right here. Okay. Yeah. Believe it or not, like she's inwardly, what it feels like is she's asking for your forgiveness. Yeah. You have a mutual need for one another's love. Yeah. Thank you for allowing yourself to be seen and felt here. I mean, we take a few breaths together, and everybody, let's take a few breaths together. Yeah, that's it. So you just let yourself feel this place. Big breath. Yeah. That's it. Let it work through your body. One more big breath. Everybody, big breath. Everybody breathing together. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Erica, I got a picture of a like a bullseye, and you're right on target for where you want to go. May you just keep trusting yourself. Okay? Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So what Erica shows us is feminize, desensitize, trust yourself, trust what's here, trust what's present. And we need to work out our mother issues. We need to work out our issues with the feminine. Because you see underneath that, Erica, is your intuition. When you close your eyes, your channel just went, it just came right in. It's so present for you. Yeah. And so Erica is showing everybody here what's possible if we allow ourselves to trust that it's safe to feminize, to become tender, to feel, to sense, to let go of that old warrior woman stuff. The true warrior woman is the one who's willing to be seen for who she is and to be felt. This is true strength, true strength. And you see, boom, your channel instantly starts speaking to you.
Yes.
Did anybody else see that happening with Erica? This is what's happening with all of us, ladies. This is everybody. And she's just brave enough to show us what's possible if we're willing. Okay. Thank you, Erica.
Thank you.
Let's work with this a little bit with everybody now. If you can feel any of that old warrior woman in you, that old hard shell, you've had to kick it. Every single one of us here, you've had to kick ass, okay? You've had to work hard and you've had to do it, okay? Yeah. But we're in a different age and time now, where what that does is it makes us hard and bitter, lonely. My 3 older sisters, my mom said to me, little sis, kick ass. Okay, whatever you do, kick ass. That means, Erica, we don't feel. We become brittle. And it breaks my heart, but they're all much older than me, and they're very lonely. They're alone. There's no place for a man there. Or if you like women, whatever, there's no room for it. So may we trust that it's safe to soften. Thank you for the teaching, Erica. And Sumi said in the chat box, Erica, she said, that could have been me you were reading. Anybody else feel that way? Yeah. Yeah, the time of the lone feminine wolf it's over. Cheryl, now all of us have been, Cheryl now, she's been in a 40-year marriage with this beautiful man, and this woman has all kinds of teachings for us. I happen to know Cheryl. I don't know many of you here, but she has a lot to offer the feminine with the breath as well. Maybe, Cheryl, you could come in sometime with the ladies and do a breathwork session with us. Lots of breathing here, Erica. Everybody. The breath is our great softener. Okay, so let's go to our next person. Quiana. Hi. Am I saying your name correctly, Quiana? Is that correct?
Kiana.
Sorry?
Kiana.
Kiana, thank you. Okay. Kiana, can I scan your system and listen to you on a deeper level?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I'm getting like all like excited inside. Just keep feeling you. Wow. Kiana, you worked hard for the time you're coming into now. It's like it's your time. And it also looks beautiful on you. It feels like you're coming into, there's something concept I want to bring in here that you are reminding me of, and this is for everyone here, and this is servant leadership.
Mm.
Do you know this concept of servant leadership?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it feels like you're coming into a time when you have the opportunity to serve what wants to be served. It also feels like you have a very strong connection with women. Is your work with women? Are you working with women? Is that what you're doing?
I have a lot of women around me, and a lot of women come to me for comfort, and
Yeah.
you know, I guess I offer a safe space for a lot of women. Mm-hmm.
Well, I get a sense that you have a strong female connection. I wouldn't be surprised at some point your work goes more and more female.
Mm-hmm.
You're a coach. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. You know, yeah, you feels like you have some great teachings around money and business.
Mm-hmm. I previously, years ago, I taught or hosted conferences for women in business. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. That history. It's like you're doing some. I got a picture of it's got a picture of like this beautiful garden with all these different flowers in it, and it's like you're planted a different garden with different flowers, and you're sampling different flowers right now. But your backbone, a lot of what's just natural and instinctual for you as women in business. Yeah, but you needed to get out of like a corporate world. You needed to get it out of. Yeah, you needed to get out of. Are you in the southern U.S.?
I'm in California.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So you need to get out of some of that mindset in order to flower. So to know all your different colors in the flower garden. Yeah. Yeah. But it also says like, be careful also of not working too hard. It feels like you're a very hard worker, and you'll just get in there and you'll just do it. Yeah, it's a beautiful quality, but be careful that it doesn't compromise your ability to feminize. You're actually extraordinarily feminine, and you love sharing your beauty, and you love sharing your magic. You're not shy about that at all. Actually, very very confident in what you carry, but be careful that you don't start running masculine energy when in your business and in your efforts to work hard and produce and right. So when you were like about when you were a little girl, when you were like around 10 or something, were you often alone? Yeah. So that place, Kiana, I see you at 10, and she's big, a powerful body, very powerful body. There's like having more power and looking more mature at that age than the child mind. And it feels like she learned how to kind of invert. She learned to kind of go inside of herself. And if you do some inner child work, it feels like she's the one that wants to be held and known that she can come out more and more. Now, I sense your softness coming forward more and more. It looks so beautiful on you. Yeah, good. And you're safe here to cry. You're safe here. Thank you for your tears. Every tear is sacred tear. Thank you for your tears, for your trust. This place right here, Kiana, what it feels like is this is your big key to success. It feels like you're looking for that big key, and you got the key in the lock already. It's in there, and you're looking for the leverage and the torque to open up that door to what your big capability is, your big, huge capability. And it's this place right here.
Mm. Mm.
And the more mineralized your body is, you're onto this already. You're doing it now. You're doing it. I encourage you to allow this tenderness to keep coming forward, and notice how if you go all plant-based, how this may help tenderize and strengthen what could become conviction and confidence, instead strengthening that little tender girl. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Crystallized a lot of things that I've been feeling and thinking, but just not really fully committing myself to. So thank you so much.
Yeah. So thank you, Kiana. What Kiana is showing all of us, remember, each one of us is a living, breathing teaching. We're all teaching all the time, constantly, just in our presence. And what Kiana is showing us is the power that we innately have inside of us. And she's showing us how that key is in the lock. It's there. May we go back and take care of that inner little one. Okay, so based on what Kiana's showing us, I want to ask everybody now to picture her, that little 10-year-old inside of you. Okay, let's go into her now. We'll just take a few more moments here. You see yourself as that 10-year-old little girl. Now ask her what she needs. What does she need from you right now to leverage the key in the lock? To feel safe enough to be all of you. Listen to her. And it's interesting, we have donkey medicine coming in right now. Did you hear the donkey? That's for your inner 10-year-old. It's to remind all of us to be willing to be silly, to play, to honk nonsensically.
I love that. And I'm just gonna say this. I think my son tells me all the time, like, loosen up, Mom. You're too serious all the time. So wow, that was powerful.
The donkey is I live in Italy, very far back in the woods, and the donkey is about 300 meters away. So that was really for all of you. That's for you, Kiana. It's for all of you. So I encourage you to take that donkey medicine in and to allow it to soften, to feminize. I encourage you this week to keep receiving and listen to that 10-year-old inside. She probably just not only wants to play, but wants to see the adult you perhaps go a bit easier on yourself. So my question in closing for you is, what can you do this week to take really good care of yourself? That includes some lighthearted play. It could still be quite deep, like what we do here. It could be pH balanced. To encourage you to allow yourself to keep feminizing, trusting that it's safe to be feminine. And if some of those mother issues come up, like what Erica showed us, we should be willing to soften into them, to feel them. Yes. So thank you, dear ladies. You can see there in the chat box, you're welcome to come into our govegan.community. It's free. If you'd like to go deeper with this work, you're welcome to book a session with me. And also, If you want to get into really taking care of your health, but you need support, maybe you don't know how to fully do it, then go check out our Go Vegan program. I'm super excited about it. It's not very often. All these years I've wanted just to be still and put all of my concepts into content, like that pH chart. The nerd in me loves it. And these are all the things that I bring to you in this course and in this group. Please tell your friends if you benefit from this. We will be sending a replay out, so you can go back and watch it again if you like. And please do come back, share. This is your community. This is all new, and I'd love to know what you need. So before we say goodbye, if there's anything that you think you could learn with this type of work, what would you love to learn? Would you pop it in the chat box for me? What would you be inspired to want to go deeper with? What inspires you? What tickles your fancy? Is it intuition? Is it going deeper in your health? Or is it a combination of that? Yes, Joan. I can feel I am whole. Yes. Yes. Can we echo that in our minds? And Joan brings that in. I am whole. That's right. Yes. And if you'd like to leave a testimonial of this work, if there's anything that you would like to share, please do pop it into the chat box. It's very helpful for us. It's kind of unique work to be able to speak about and to share with others. So if you have any words that you think would be helpful, would love to capture any of your words. And remember, again, we're communicating, or we are creating this together. And I would love to know what you need. Yesterday, someone sent me a message and said, hey, I'd like to see the other replays of the other webinars that I haven't been on. Oh, okay. What a great idea. We'll put those on our website. So know that we're creating this together. It's not like I have all the answers or ideas. I need your help. So if you could offer any type of suggestions, even though I've been doing this for a long time, I left my Bali business, which was good timing because this whole Corona thing happened right afterwards. Can't get to Bali anymore. And I put all my work online now. So I would love to know anything that you might think of how we could let people know about this. And if you like what's happening in the chat box, you can also select all and copy it, and you can keep that as well. Yes. Well, Joan, thank you. Joan says your knowledge is so deep. Well, my love is even deeper. I'll tell you that. I've had lots to learn, but one thing I can always come back on is this deep well of feminine love inside. So maybe we could close with that. I want to encourage you to feel this deep well of love that exists inside of you, that 10-year-old may have had to shut down or protect herself or armor up. And feel that there's a space where it's not only safe for you to open, but you're supported to open, you're encouraged to open. And that we can find a different type of safety. And we can build our knowledge bank. We can balance out our pH. We can learn how to really take care of ourselves. Not just in our blood and our bones and our bowels, but emotionally, psychically, spiritually, and reclaim what it means to be a woman. All women, no matter what size, shape, color, where we can come together and we can learn from one another. I want to give a very big special thanks to all of our BIPOC women for holding space for all of us white people for so long. Big thanks. And may we all learn together how we can really deprogram what we've been fed and come into our servant leadership and serve one another. And if we can do that together in a safe space as women, then surely we can do that with our families and men, children. basically, I think it's up to us ladies, because we feel, because we sense, because we love that much. These BIPOC ladies teach me so much in the group that I'm in about love. They put up with all the things that I fumble and bumble around. You know, there's one last thing I want to say to you is this group that I'm a part of, it's called Daring to Rest. My dear friend Karen, who's a very old client of mine from New York City, where I'm from, she put together this group of white and Black coaches, and I'm one of the coaches on this program that she started to help us to understand one another. So if this is something that speaks to you and you want to learn how to, if you're a white person and you want to learn how to deprogram and you want a safe place to be held in with beautiful BIPOC women, I would encourage you to come. I'm doing the intuition and food part, of course. Yeah. Thank you, beautiful women. I love you. I hope to see you again. And feel free to send me an email. Let me know how you're doing and reach out. I really value and I need actually to know how you are and what we can do to bring this work into the world, because we're doing it for ourselves, owning our worth. Finally out. Love you, ladies. Mwah. Bless.